What's going on, everyone? This is City Wrestling Radio, and this is our New Japan, weekend Dominion. New Japan.
It's a post show.
It's the Dominion 2020 post show.
Yep.
It's kind of like a special. You get the B show cast talking about New Japan. I'm Korey Smith, your host for today. Joining me via Zoom as usual, because we will die if we go outside. My co-host of the day, Mr. Michael Vergara. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing a lot better than most people, I'll say that.
That is very true.
I mean, you know.
There is a
2020, the year of the,
That's actually, I think it's like there's an ad on YouTube where it's like Ryan Reynolds has his own phone service now. He's like, well, that's as far as I got with my commercial because, So, guys, we're here to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling and Dominion and the, at least the main event from the New Japan Cup 2020 final, which was the night before. Both shows happened at Osaka Jo-Hall. I think we got a lot to get in. There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah. I was actually kind of concerned, like, this show's going to come and go, and it's probably going to take less than an hour, but there probably won't be that many takeaways from this and the future implications of New Japan going forward. But boy, did Gato prove me wrong once again.
I just remember that little wink he gave you at the show when we went the little.
Yep.
That was.
I would ultimately pay for it.
He was remembering tonight. He was remembering looking at
when I flipped him, when I did the Naito eye and when I did this to him. And then he gave me that wink, like he said, like, you're gonna get it. Like the people at the Tokyo Dome, they're gonna get what they want, but not really. Yeah. And that's pretty much New Japan booking in a bookshelf. I mean, not a bookshelf.
On a bookshelf, yeah.
Nutshell.
It's a nutshell.
Where are my words?
A nutshell on a bookshelf, guys. Before we get into all of that, though, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe at CWR415 Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. This way to stay up to date with City Wrestling Radio. We post a lot of cool stuff to all three accounts. Pick one and follow it. I suggest Instagram because you get to see stuff and hear stuff. Sometimes,
what
stuff and hear stuff. No, I don't know where I was going with that. I was gonna say sometimes you get to see our beautiful faces on it, but you never do because we're never together anymore. We're always. I think our last picture together was at Monday or at SmackDown.
When was the last time? Had to be before March 11th, because that's the day when I really feel like that was kind of ground zero for
the last day you were here in the Diamond Studio.
Yeah.
I think it was the show before Revolution, because we couldn't do a Revolution show.
Just because we just didn't want to.
Yeah.
That's behind the scenes right there, like for us to you.
Well, when you boil down to it, that's what it really was. Yeah. But yeah,
I think I took notes on that too.
Yes, I remember you were very, very excited about that tag team match. Have you told people how much you liked
5 years ago? When that happened 5 years ago, I was just, man.
But whenever we don't do a show, we post stuff on Twitter and Instagram, let you know when breaking news happens. Just like the other night when the New Japan Cup finale happened, I posted with spoiler warning attached.
Didn't say we didn't warn you.
Yeah, so don't get scared. Don't think we're going to spoil stuff for you. We let you know. Well, we let you know if we're going to spoil stuff for you. If you want to get spoiled, let us spoil you. Anyways.
There you go. There's a candy bar for you.
At CWR415. Okay, so New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Japan.
The New Japan Cup, Osaka Jo-Hall, happened Saturday morning. Well,
if you're talking about New Japan Cup in general, there was a tournament going on to see who would be the number one contender for the double championship of the IWGP Intercontinental Champion and the IWGP World Champion. Do they still say heavyweight? I think they do. Yeah, no, they have to. They say heavy Q all the time, which,
they do.
And,
going into it, the final was Kazuchika Okada and Evil.
Well, I mean, you want to talk about the New Japan Cup tournament as a whole in general? What were some of the highlights? That was kind of like a signal of New Japan just doing shows again. And what was your opinion on the handling of that entire situation in general, going from the empty arenas onwards?
I mean, the empty arena shows were didn't have as much life, like say as All Elite Wrestling or even Monday Night Raw, because they had those they had the wrestlers at ringside doing, all the fan service. So I couldn't really get into it that much, even though it was New Japan. You know what I mean? So it was really good wrestling, but it is like
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 I didn't watch as much as I would thought I would, but then from what I saw, like it just made me realize like how much silence is within the nature of those matches anyway. Like you don't really hear constant screaming from the crowd anyway in your New Japan show, so it was just sort of par for the course when people are wrestling in between moves, like when there are arrest holds or when they're like lockups or any of that stuff that you see normally in the beginning of the match. Like you would normally like hear nothing from that. So when the bet, like how when the story beats hit, like it is a little jarring with no like noise, but then I think the commentators did a really good job like compensating for that as well, just by being like extra as well.
I will say, going into the finale, because I saw some of the New Japan Cup. I didn't watch all of it because, there were times where it was just like, we were on a hiatus, our 20th hiatus because my computer was broken. And
just decided your computer was the one that decided to go on a hiatus.
My computer was like, hey, I'm in the New Japan Cup. I got to go. And so I watched, like one or two matches here or there. But going into the finale, it was so much better to have fans in attendance, because you didn't hear the clicking of the cameras. You had more people clapping. It was
I kind of like that, the clicking of the cameras. It just makes it look like a freaking photo shoot.
It just sounds like an empty studio to me.
Yeah, well, that's how it has been for like all wrestling companies. Like, to be honest with you, like the introduction of crowds was the weird part for me. Like, I didn't necessarily like, oh, this is a sight for sore. I was like, this is kind of weird now, considering how the world is going on right now. It was just like, and there was also a couple of caveats that we might as well get into now. Was that there was they had special guidelines. You're not supposed to cheer. You're not supposed to like say anything with your mouth. You can only do actions with your hands, which is pretty much what you heard throughout the show was clapping.
The whole crowd was doing chain sign language together, rooting for their favorite wrestler. No, I'm kidding. No, but they were clapping all night, and honestly,
what if they just snap? What if they just snap a bunch? That'd be. Why don't they just introduce that? Just wrestling snaps.
Because they're not cool hipsters. Yeah. I mean, maybe like we should start like a wrestling company in Brooklyn that does that. Where they just like snap like, yeah, man, it's a good match.
Kamagoye just
Kamagoye. Anyway, no, but I mean, New Japan Pro Wrestling fans, they a lot of the times when I remember watching New Japan in the past, a lot of them clap. It's not this, screaming and yelling. Like you don't have.
You hear yelling. Yelling is what the New Japan crowd does best, honestly. But there was something. There was still something missing when you couldn't yell, and understandably so. When you yell, droplets come out, and when droplets come out, the fucking Rona happens. So understandably so.
Yeah. That's what happens.
That's really just the way it was.
So yeah, I mean, you usually get like the people.
You got boos.
But people are still gonna boo. I don't know.
I think they're trying. Like, I think it's because it's easier to boo without like getting their like. You're like.
They're like, we're leaving for the night anyways. The show's over. We're gonna leave.
Oh man, I wish Kevin Kelly was on commentary for that.
That's another thing. So
you missed the English commentary. Like I'm used to it. I'm used to Japanese commentary because
I mean, it wasn't horrible. Like I wasn't sitting here like, oh my god, I don't know what they're saying. Like
some English speakers prefer the Japanese commentary, which I don't blame them.
And it was easy to watch, but at the same time, like I
needed a translator. End of the show, I needed a translator.
Exactly.
Hiromu Takahashi just doing one just wasn't enough. Like I kind of got it, but yeah.
He says, I'm going to Burger King. I'm getting a number one.
And I'm just going to yell my fucking balls out doing so. Give me a Whopper.
That's usually how I say it. It's like the Szechuan sauce guy. Anyway.
Jesus.
And yelling on the ground.
Thanks for reminding me about that whole Szechuan thing.
Anyways, nonetheless, night one, the New Japan Cup finale. I didn't watch the whole show. I watched the main event.
Great.
As you did too, I'm sure.
Me neither.
So we come to the finale, the main event of the night.
Well, hey, listen, Master Watto. Have you watched him?
What's up with Master Watto? What is he?
I feel like sometimes I just feel like it's a rib, a little bit sometimes, and then they just want to give to him fucking Hiroshi Kawato himself, and it's just I feel like they think. Part of me feels like they think that's cool, and part of me feels like this is just a rib for some. No, this is a rib for him to overcome. Like,
he reminds me. His character, the Grandmaster Watto, reminds me of a character from like Nintendo, not Super Nintendo, but like a wizard.
Kamek from Mario Brothers, the one who just
because because I did think Mario Brothers at first, but he has this like Nintendo vibe going on, like the first generation, not Super Nintendo, but Nintendo.
Looks
like the blue hair, the blue pants. It's just cheesy wizard. I expect him to come out with a pointy hat next time.
It's just, hey, listen, man, like, New Japan is a very versatile company. Like, it can pull off, they have people on their roster where they have guys named Evil. You know what I mean?
Oh, and we'll get to Evil.
But it's weird. They're straddling the line with that, and part of me just feels like this is a gimmick where it's at surface level is goofy as hell, but then they have enough confidence in Hiroshi Kawato, and he himself thinks they have faith in him overcoming it, and he'll make it work. Like, oh, here you go. We went to a fucking Renaissance fair. Here's this wizard. Put it on. Have some bell bottoms. Make it work. Like what Tim Gunn would say.
Looks like he's 12 years old. I'll be honest though.
He's really young. I don't know his exact age, but he's a young lion, and he went on They gave him the Mexico excursion, thinking, oh, we'll get the next Tetsuya Naito, except that didn't work. He got a stomach flu and did nothing over there, and now he's back in Japan, and he fought Dookie, Green Day's first major label album.
When
you, New Japan wrestler, Dookie.
When you have the stomach flu, sometimes you get Dookie.
That's a good one.
That was bad. So Master Watto, I don't know.
I like him. His face is really small.
He's childish, but whatever.
He just has that like to him.
But the main event, Kazuchika Okada, Evil.
Watto won his match against Dookie.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean,
yeah, he's the pushed act. Dookie is just Dookie.
Dookie, he was wearing his mask the entire night. Dookie was. I don't think he usually does.
Yep.
But he decided to tonight. It's really funny though about Dookie. He comes out with that like stick that he's hitting. That is just like, it looks like
Oh yeah.
Like what do you call it? Wrapping paper? Like a roll of wrapping paper, because every time he hits it, it just
it's the same material they used for Taichi's iron fist.
Well, the Taichi's, that one's like foam and just foil.
Yeah. Yeah, and is able to knock out Kota Ibushi for like 6 minutes. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's go. Sorry.
Well, the night one finale, Kazuchika Okada versus Evil. I didn't take notes on that match, but what did you think of this match?
It's I got Jay White vibes from that match, honestly, and it was probably a sign of things to come, all things considered, where they relied on a bunch of outside interference, Evil going for the balls because what kind of a man does that?
Well, not as much as night two. The interference in night one was kind of
no, it was overkill. Interference in night one. The fuckery was there for night one.
Night two?
They're about the same. Honestly.
Yeah, I thought night two was crazy.
I just think that do they want it's. Yeah, no, night one. I thought Evil was gonna win. I thought he was most likely going to heal it up even more so.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect him to fucking join Bullet Club.
No, definitely not. I didn't see that coming. Well, what happened was it Gato? Was it Gato or Jado came down to the ring? I think it was Gato.
It was Gato.
Gato came down the ring, distract the ref, and that's when was it
Kanemaru?
Yeah, it wasn't Kanemaru. It wasn't Yoshinobu.
Taiji Ishimori?
No, Tokyo Pimp.
That's
Taka Yoshinobu Kana. God damn it! I remember.
We got it. Okay, keep going.
Anyways, Yujiro Takahashi. Takahashi comes into the ring and attacks Okada, lays him out, and that's when Evil gets the what is this a new movie he's been doing? The kind of like Evil rock bottom.
Everything is evil. That's everything is evil.
That's everything is evil. Okay.
Yeah.
So he hits the everything is evil and lays him out for the pin and the win. Everyone was really confused. Everyone's like, why is, Bullet Club helping LIJ? Even I kind of got that through commentary, and then Naito comes out to the ring. And I thought it was more of something that it was playing into Okada and Bullet Club kind of going back and forth.
Yeah, and it was they just wanted to fuck with Okada because, Gato.
That's what I thought. But Naito comes out to the ring, he says, you know what, we're going to have a match. We're buddies tonight. We're going to have a match tomorrow for these double titles. They put their fist up, but that's when he turned evil and turned his fist into a too sweet.
How can a guy named Evil be doing something so dastardly?
Laid out Tetsuya Naito, and the Bullet Club comes out to the ring, or at least the remnants that's there in Japan right now.
Yeah. So takeaways from this. Bullet Club is definitely lacking in members as of right now because of the pandemic. They needed more members. They needed an angle for Evil coming into the title match the next day. I was all for it, Like there needed to be some shakeups going on, and I think LIJ as a group, this has been hinted for a very long time.
My question about this though is this a complete reshuffle of the Bullet Club?
Yes, I feel like they need to, because look at their key members in Jay White and Kenta. They're not in the country, and they can't be in the country for the foreseeable future.
But because they're not in the country, so they're just automatically out of Bullet Club now?
I think they're just written off. They're like as far as I'm concerned, there was no mention of those two at all. Like, I could see.
No, it was crazy. I thought.
And why would you? Because they can't be factored into this anyway. So why even bother? But now that Evil is now full-fledged member of Bullet Club, I do sense there's and especially going into the next night, like I have a sense that Bullet Club they're going into a different direction where it's going to be a little bit more Japan centric and a little bit old person centric as well.
I was thinking about that too, because Bullet Club started out as the
Gaijin group, the Gaijin.
Yeah, you'd have all the heel foreigners, quote unquote, coming in. You'd AJ Styles, you had Prince Devitt, you had the Good Brothers. And now it's
I'm going through this list right now, like Bad Luck Fale, Chase Owens, Phantasmo, Jay White, Kenta, Tamatonga, Tangaloa. Like that is fucking half of your group, like not in the country.
Break off into another two factions of Bullet Club. Is this going to be like Jay White's Bullet Club versus Evil's Bullet Club?
We'll probably get there after this one. I mean, it's the end of night one, but like
we'll talk at the end of the show, at the end of the main event of night two. Okay, so let's get into night number 2, where I actually have some notes. Kicked off with, traditional 6-man tag matches. I think that the first 4 matches, the first matches I don't have extensive notes on, but I have results. Was it Yuji Nagata, Satoshi Kojima, and Ryusuke Taguchi beat Gabriel Kidd, Honma, and Togi Makabe in the
Young Boys. Lion.
There was one young lion, the Gabriel Kidd. Mm-hmm. And he's like the one American, I think, wrestling. Or the one not American, but
he just happens to be there.
He's the only Gaijin right now.
Yeah.
Then we have Sanada, Hiromu Takahashi, and Bushi versus Tomohiro Ishii, Toru Yano, and Yota Tsuji.
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 Yeah.
Tsuji.
With a J.
Yes, I say it with a J.
Okay. Maybe it was the Zoom call quality.
Yeah,
I thought you said sushi, and I'm like, come on, Korey.
Come on. Hiromu does beat Tsuji with a submission, a win. Suzuki Gun versus Master Wato, Yuya Yamura, and Hiroshi Tenzan, or Hiroyoshi Tenzan. Sorry. And like I said, Master Wato, he's weird. I don't know.
It's straddling the line between it's so absurd I love it, it's absurd I hate it, and I'm not sure what to feel about it right now. It's kind of leaning on I love it because just it's so ridiculous. Yeah. I don't like bell bottoms in wrestling though. I didn't like it in Okada. I don't like it in Wano.
And I think that's another reason why I think he looks like an old, like not Super Nintendo, but Nintendo character.
Just a 90s thing.
Well, 80s. I was going 80s.
Oh, you're going 80s. Okay.
I was going 80s. Yeah. Then we have Yujiro Takahashi and Taiji Ishimura versus Hiroki Goto and Kazuchika Okada in a match where I was like, oh shit, Okada, you about to fuck these guys up. And no, he did not F them up at all. The Tokyo Pimp got a pin on Goto after Goto received a brainbuster from Taiji Ishimori, then a modified Michinoku driver from Yujiro Takahashi. So after that, he hits a spiking DDT, gets the pin and the win. So, I mean, they're making Bullet Club look strong here.
Stronger. They're trying to. Not a good 2 days for Okada. Reaches the finals, the New Japan Cup finals, gets his nuts caved in, and then him just taking it to fucking Takahashi. It's not a good look for the Rainmaker. Will he bounce back? I'm willing to
bounce back. I was thinking that it would have been perfect if we would have done like an English commentary for last night, just you and me,
just to watch along. I mean, hey, I was like ready to go like when that show ended, but I just assumed that you were asleep.
Yeah, I was. I woke up this morning and watched it. So
I'll say it right now, like New Japan show starting at 12 or earlier than 12, I am all for 100% for.
I thought it started at 1.
No. Dude, no, that I tuned in at 12 because I legitimately missed like when this actually was going to start. So like I tuned in at 12 so I watched the UFC show, and then which was, I mean, we could have an hour conversation on that, considering you are the world's greatest MMA aficionado in the world in San Francisco. But having that end and then go straight to New Japan show, Saturdays, man. It was a Saturday is a night for fighting.
That's very true. Let's see. And our next match of the night, Shingo Takagi versus Sho for the Never Openweight Championship.
Showtime.
I mean, I think it's kind of why I think when the show fully kicks off, the second half of the show. And did you notice how they're wiping down the ring like every hour?
Oh, yeah. No, they wipe down the ring, and then they do their ad break where they show that one lady wearing the Hiroshi Tanahashi shirt, and you see Tanahashi's like, hey, I'm going to see you wearing my shirt.
And Togi.
I'm assuming that's if Hiroshi Tanahashi spoke English, that's how he would sound like. Hello, everybody. I am Hiroshi Tanahashi.
I feel like that's how Togi Makabe would sound.
No, that's how Excalibur sounds when he does his top 5, which fuck, man. You should do those again.
Hello.
Hey, everybody, and I'm here, Excalibur, and I'm here to say, gonna have the top 5 in a very cool way.
Oh, if Excalibur does like a 90s rap every week, and I think he could. I think he's fully capable.
Oh, he totally could.
All right. Sho versus Shingo Takagi.
The rubber match between these two individuals. I must say, the second match between Sho and Shingo Takagi in the New Japan Cup, probably a top 3 ever in the empty arena era. Yeah. I love the shit out of that match, and I think I've said this in a prior show going into that. And yeah, this is the rubber match. Sho had one, Shingo had the first one, and this is for the Never Openweight title.
And I mean, I thought this was a really, really good match. Actually, Takagi has early advantage, wearing Sho down. Sho fighting with everything he's got. Lariat to Sho, kick to Shingo's head. Both men down. Sho kind of playing up heelish, knocking the ref out at one point. I don't know if that was just normal New Japan.
Desperation.
Yeah, it could be. The two went back and forth, exchanging maneuvers, ending in a straight jacket tombstone to Shingo, which looked pretty devastating. Sho then has Shingo in a triangle. The ref checks on Shingo, and because I legit thought he was going to win the title here.
Yeah, Shingo Takagi over Sho. I'll say this, out of their 3 matches, I think... Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, I was going to say... No, I didn't get through the whole card, but the whole match. But the triangle spot.
Yeah.
When he checks on Shingo's arm. For a second there, I legit thought he was going to win the title.
You bought it. That's the thing.
I bought it. Eventually, Shingo hits the Last Dragon on Sho. and gets the pin and the win. I'd actually give this match an 8 out of 10 if we're gonna rate these matches.
I'll say this: you give it an 8 out of 10. Out of those 3 matches, I feel like this was the weakest out of the 3. But then, like, if I have to compare the prior 2, like hell, even the one in the empty arena one, like, I think this is a good match. In fact, might as well go as far as to say great. Yeah. But out of the 3, I think it was the weakest one. But because I just had enormous expectations for this one, it was a bit slower than I thought it would be. And like as soon as it didn't reach that nth gear, as I would say.
Yeah. The one thing I would say though is I think Sho is kind of better off in more fast-paced matches.
Yeah.
Who was he facing in the Super J Cup? Was it Will Ospreay?
Yep. We were at that show.
That was a crazy match.
Incredibly. I honestly thought that was a 5-star match, and then and then Meltzer just said, "I think it's a great match."
I'm not going to rate it though because
he gave it 4.75.
Okay, that's pretty close. It was a fun.
I remember on Twitter, like he immediately said, like, I only give matches 5 stars if I instantly think it's 5 stars, and he didn't instantly think it was 5 stars. But he's wrong.
I always go with how I feel like when the match ends. Just like, can I lie to the world with this? Can I say 8? No, I can't say it. Can I say 9? No. Yeah. But like I said, I think Sho is better off in fast-paced matches because that Will Ospreay match was probably a 10 out of 10. And I even wrote that down. So after the match, Shingo
is just he's awesome. So I think that's when you really think of the roster depth of New Japan, like they really got it going. Like they can instantly turn anyone there, and including Sho.
Yeah.
To be that guy. And everybody, yeah.
After the match though, El Desperado attacks Shingo.
He just said, "Why don't you come to your senses?"
And he hit him with the title, knocked him out. So it looks like that's what we're getting going forward. El Desperado versus Shingo. I mean,
let's go. Let's go.
Good, right?
Yeah, it'll probably. I mean, more Shingo matches.
Oh. Let's see. Oh, and the tag match is next. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kota Ibushi, the team Golden Ace versus Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. ZSJ. What did you think of this match, Michael?
I thought this match was fantastic.
I thought it was a pretty good match.
I really like Taichi. I was never really a big fan of, but he showed up, man. He really showed up. He kicked the shit out of anybody who could breathe, which was Tanahashi and Ibushi. And Taichi and ZSJ, they're just great assholes with each other.
No, they are. They're good heels. I don't know. Watching this match though, it was a good match, but it was very just
the rules.
For me.
Oh, really? I thought you were going to criticize the fact that Red Shoes was just doing nothing for like 6 minutes straight when Taichi and ZSJ was just double teaming Tanahashi for the last 6 minutes of that match. And I was just wondering, where the fuck is Ibushi? But, apparently I was
like, okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to get the
crap. I'm going to get the glove. The glove, man. You got to love the glove. And Ibushi did not love the glove.
He did not. You got to get that love glove on. But see, both teams going back and forth. But it's funny. I blame WWE always for putting these random tag teams together. New Japan's pretty notorious for it as well. Putting teams like Kota Ibushi and Hiroshi Tanahashi.
I thought it was a match made in heaven, man.
Yeah, ZSJ. It started off really slow. I don't know. Taichi and ZSJ.
I didn't think so.
Both have Tanahashi in holds. They break out. Last ride to Taichi, followed by a kick out. Knee strike to Taichi. Kota goes for a second one. ZSJ then goes for sleeper hold on Kota Ibushi to stop him from the Kamigoye. Taichi eventually does hit the last ride on Kota Ibushi, followed by a kick out, and then the pants come off. We get a sling blade to Taichi. Taichi uses the iron fingers. At one point, though, Taichi is holding Tanahashi down. They're doing this thing, and I think they've been doing it for a while, where Taichi will hold the person and Zack Sabre Jr. will do the dragon screws.
Mm-hmm. Tanahashi sold it like they were fucking physically removing his toenails. He was so much in pain.
Because he was apparently he was playing off an injury from the night before. So
storytelling.
Yeah. Let's see. ZSJ hits a Michinoku driver to Tana when he Taichi kicks him in the head and gets the pin and the win on Tanahashi. So
yeah, new tag champs.
New heavyweight tag champs, Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr.
That's it's quite, a bit of a disappointing reign for Tanahashi and Ibushi. I feel like COVID kind of just nipped the bud on a lot of plans, or the potential of a lot of plans. So for it to come to this, it's. I think that's just sort of the nature of this entire show, where everything they stuck with whatever. I feel like they stuck with all the plans they got, but then the way they executed it, and I just did not feel ready for those plans. You know what I mean? Like, this was always going to happen, but due to the stuff that happened prior, which is no shows, COVID and all this, it did not get us to be ready for it, And I think for Ibushi and Tanahashi to just have that title reign be that was a bit of a letdown. But I'm happy for Taichi and ZSJ, which is his first title reign, by the way, his first title in New Japan.
What, ZSJ?
Yeah, his first New Japan title.
Oh, nice, good for him. Well, he's ever won the 6-man?
No.
Okay.
He's a bit above that, man.
Is he though?
What, you don't like ZSJ?
Oh, he's great. He's a nice guy too. Is he above it? I could see even Suzuki being in a 6-man tag one time.
Hey, that's a former New Japan Cup winner. That's ZSJ.
Anyways,
he tapped everybody out. I
actually gave this match a 5 out of 10.
I don't have a grasp on your scale, so I'm just.
It's how I feel. It's feel metrics.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I was taught by.
This is why I don't rate matches, Korey.
Why? Because you don't want to how you feel, man.
No,
I don't.
No.
But yeah, new IWGP Tag Team Champions. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when you have everyone back after COVID. Especially with teams like Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, and all the other who else do they have in their heavyweight tag division?
Fuck if I don't know, dude. New Japan's tag division is just there you go.
Well, I could see the Good Brothers go back. I mean, I heard they were talking about trying to get back.
They could. They could. They could.
But then I think you'd have. Then you would give a.
It would require them to enter Japan, which is kind of a tough thing to do right now.
Kevin Kelly's just waiting at home to do commentary on the show.
They need to get into contact with Mauro Ranallo and how he gets that shit set up. Maybe it's on stuff on WWE's end, but then in New Japan is just unwilling to just give them like.
Also, Mauro is probably within the same continent.
Yeah, that's true. There
might be some logistics there too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Let's see.
The main event.
Oh, I was saying Tanahashi wants to stay home. Probably that's probably why they lost titles. And at the end of the day, because you were mentioning that before, right?
I mean, I was mentioning that when the New Japan Cup was going. I was like, I'm gonna lose to Taichi and then get the fuck out of here.
But no, he did undercards. Oh, and what do you call it? Minoru Suzuki wasn't allowed in the arena because he had a fever.
Yeah, well, soon.
Yeah, we don't know if it's anything COVID related. Nothing was mentioned.
They said he was not into contact with any of the wrestlers within the last 2 weeks.
Well, that's good. Well, because Suzuki's just brooding, just like throwing giant logs in the earth somewhere.
I wonder what
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. We stopped recording. I caught it though.
You have it? You caught it? Oh no.
Let's see. 3, 2. Yeah, I just see Minoru Suzuki just in the woods throwing giant pieces of wood for his training by himself. So, hopefully he wasn't near any of the competitors. So that's good. And then main event time. Michael, main event time. Are you ready?
As ready as I can be.
I said, are you? Oh, wait. Okay. Sorry.
It's the wrong company, Corey.
Is it? I don't know, man. What do you call it? I don't know. I'm lost right now. We
Yeah, it's Tetsuya Naito versus Evil for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship.
That's what happens when you have technical difficulties. Sorry about that. Yeah, Tetsuya Naito defending his IWGP Intercontinental and IWGP Heavyweight Championships. 2 titles on the line here against his former teammate Evil, who is now leader of the Bullet Club.
Thanks, Howard Cosell.
Yeah, being led to the ring. No, being led to the ring by the Bullet Club. It's funny because I was like, Naito, dude, where's your backup? Come on, it's Bullet Club.
They're never like that though. They never do that though.
This is Bullet Club though. You don't.
No, that's just that. What? It's it's the Bullet Club. Who gives a shit about the Bullet Club? Like,
apparently Naito.
That's that. Yeah, I know. I mean, we'll get there. So.
Well, we are there, Michael. No. Evil comes out. He has new entrance and new entrance attire. I don't know.
What, you don't like the skirt?
No, it's not the skirt. It's the he has like these shoulder pads that have like guns on them, and it's kind of ridiculous.
It's his entrance. Like, the thing is about entrance, like, you can go as crazy as you want as your entrance as long as your in-ring gear is on point.
And who's that ring announcer? Who was the big the big Evil supporter?
Mulatto.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that. I guess we'll just get that out of the way. So he's been one of the biggest Evil supporters.
He has his little light up scythe, and he's just like, he was just staring
to it, and eventually at one point in the match, Evil grabs it and breaks it, and that's why he was like, fuck this shit, and he jumped over the table at Evil.
Yeah. If you didn't know, Milano is a former professional wrestler himself.
Is he?
Retired in 2010 due to injuries.
Okay. Well,
he suffered it. Gato kicked him in the face, and I think he had like a hemorrhage on his head. I think.
Gato's like,
this is like 10 years ago, and now he's an announcer for New Japan. But yeah, that. I feel like that had the biggest reaction of the entire night.
It honestly did. It drew the most emotion from me. I was like, no, that was like.
I was like, Milano! I
don't even know your name, but no, it's not cool.
Milano. He fucked him up. I mean, he just threw him into the barricade, and he sold it like, man, it just makes me realize, like, man, Edge coming back after 10 years, like, you think Milano is going to come back as well?
Hey,
you never know.
They just set up the match right there.
They totally did. Honestly, they 100% did.
Naito, though, does come out, and he has total, like, this is beyond Naito Tranquilo face. This is Naito, I'm about to lose both my titles face.
Well, it's just, like the match itself, it's the thing about Tetsuya Naito matches is they're not going to be your Okadas. They're not going to be like your Ospreys or your Omegas of the like. Like, he is very, very storytelling centric, meaning it's not going to be as flashy as those kind of matches. Because
I always compare him to Macho Man.
Because Naito is, let's just face it, he's not young anymore, and he's also banged the fuck up. So he's going to wrestle a slower style. He's going to wrestle in shorter bursts. Yeah, he's going to do those flips, but just not in the quantity that you would expect out of your average New Japan match. And for him to be fighting a living boulder in Evil was a little bit jarring, to be honest, but then I liked it for what was going on for what it was. They had to sell the knee and all that stuff.
Yeah. I've been watching New Japan for like 3 or 4 years now, and Evil he doesn't seem like a main eventer to me. Like, he's a great wrestler, but that's
kind of what a lot of people are saying. But then, hey, listen, you know who else got the title when he wasn't perceived as a main eventer?
Are you gonna say Okada?
Because I was gonna say Okada. Like, the only way they found out was there was only one way to find out, and I think Evil, like, he is more than capable of having great matches. Just the very nature of the booking of the matches that he's in, leading to this title, which is pretty much give him the Jay White playbook. I question it, because I do think, like, Evil is credible enough to just run roughshod on everybody, for him to go all heel like. I know that I get it that they need heels and they need to convey that fact that he is one, but it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence in me. But I do love Evil, and I love that look.
They go back and forth the entire match, brawling on the outside, in the ring, wearing each other down. Eventually, Naito is put through a table that he sets up by Evil off the ring into one of those little tiny tables they have in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
A little bitty table.
I like how he has the sharpshooter applied on Naito, and they're calling it the Scorpion Deathlock. Naito does get to the ropes. We get a tornado DDT to Evil, followed by a running Destino, but Evil got kicked out of that. So, I mean, it's one thing about finishers. I think it always, I don't know. I think it should be the opposite of how they do it. Like, you know how they're like, oh, that was a spinning Rainmaker, so it wasn't the full strength. I think that should add a little extra oomph to it. You know what I mean? I think like a spinning Rainmaker should be more damaging than a regular.
Well, depends on how it's booked. Like, if that person kicks out of it, that means that's just not the way. It's only just one of their moves.
No, I know. I just when they do that a lot, they've done that with Okada, and now they did it with here, where there was a running Destino, but because it wasn't he wasn't able to get the full contact of the Destino.
Honestly, I hope the story that they're telling with Okada is that the Cobra Clutch does jack shit for him, and that he should just stop doing it.
I want
fucking, like, every time he does that, he just fails. And Okada, these last 2 days, he's been failing, sir.
Can we have Crazy Okada back and he can join Master Wato? And
God. That's probably going to happen. I don't know.
Anyways,
new tag champions.
Yeah. Jado comes out to the ring. Jado starts walking out to the ring, followed by Taichi Ishimori. Hiromu comes out for the save, although Ishimori does get a couple of strikes on Naito. Hiromu fights off Jado and Ishimori. Naito picks up Evil, but he has a chair in his hand. He strikes Naito in the head. The ref is up. We get a reverse DDT to Evil, followed by a low blow to Naito while the ref was blinded by Evil. And then apparently someone appears on the ringside who is...
So he's wearing a Bushi mask.
He's dressed like Bushi, and they weren't even playing...
Clearly not Bushi because he has like 20... He's 20 pounds fatter.
Yeah, I wasn't... this was spoiled for me, the finish of the show, which was unfortunate.
Wow, dude. That's like half of the... Yeah, go ahead.
It sucks because when you do this, you can't open up social media for the good 4 hours.
That's why... Hey...
Yeah.
Remember my argument of watching wrestling live? There you go.
I know. So this guy appears on ringside, and even the ring announcers are like, "That's Bushi," but they're saying like Bushi. That's not Bushi. And he's there. He's trying to cheer Naito on, although he apparently he striked. Oh no, Red Shoes tells NWO Bushi to get out of there because it's NWO.
Jeff Farmer.
Yeah, exactly. While the ref is distracted. There's a hard stop to Naito's nuts, and
Tetsuya Nutso.
Everything is evil to Naito, or as I'm going to call it now, the evil bottom. And he gets the pin and the win on Naito, which was surprising.
Complete shock and awe, honestly.
I don't know what to say about that. It's weird. Because, like I said, Evil does not, to me, seem like a main eventer. He seems like you should have built him up through the intercontinental ranks.
I mean, you would make the argument that the New Japan Cup was the build-up. Because he's been kind of doing this throughout the entire tournament.
How can you say that's the build-up when half of your people in the New Japan Cup were young lions? Because of the roster available.
Okay, let's look at the New Japan Cup.
Well, okay, I'm saying because, the original New Japan Cup was like, you had Jay White, Jeff Cobb, Chase Owens, Bad Luck Fale, people that weren't even there, weren't even there because of the coronavirus, because not being allowed into the country. So what did Evil really accomplish here? Did he accomplish?
You know what he accomplished, Korey? He accomplished being the double champion.
Well, you're right. You're absolutely right. He is double champion now. But the first thing that I thought of it was you telling me about Togi Makabe being the champion during the dark era of New Japan Pro Wrestling, when Evil won the titles.
That's a subjective opinion, you know.
That's just what I thought. That's just the first thing I thought.
I mean, I say this. I don't normally say this a lot anymore in wrestling companies, but I feel like New Japan has sort of just earned it. They have always earned it, in my opinion. Their track record is just too clean for me to definitively dismiss this statement. And is that I am looking forward to see where this goes. Like, it's you could have Naito like just retain it, and then you just have Evil be whatever in Bullet Club, or you could just have Evil be champion and just say, oh my God, what the fuck is going on? And to be honest, right now, I'm in the mood of constantly saying, oh my God, what the fuck is going on? Because, oh my God, what the fuck is going on?
It's
I mean,
strange to me, especially, like I said, what does the other half of Bullet Club just get kicked out? Like,
they're not kicked out. They just can't. I mean, they're literally kicked out of the country.
Okay. Realistically, when borders open up, what's the plan? Is the
hey, Jay White, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. That's probably the plan.
I like Jay White. Jay White's a
I can see Jay White being like, he can be super extra knife pervy, like outside of the Bullet Club. I mean, he's the knife man. You put him in the Bullet Club, he has knives. He doesn't have bullets.
He could be like the Jack Sparrow and be like a face.
Just be a pirate. Just be a pirate.
They're going the full or what was his name?
Kyrie Sane.
Paul Burchill?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
There you go. The camera the zooms in on him, he'll be at the top of the fist.
I think Jay White, but then once he returns, I think he's gonna be the guy who's like, boy, Evil, you got that title for me? Thank you. And then it's like, what are you doing, Evil? You're going to, oh no. And he gets physically grabbed by Evil, and then he just gets kicked out physically.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think Jay White will about bad luck Fale. What about Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa? Does Bullet Club just get taken over?
Your concerns about Bullet Club kind of just worry me, because I am more concerned. I am more concerned about the state of.
What are you?
I am more concerned about the state of Tetsuya Naito. Honestly,
you know what? I have given Kenny Omega a 2 sweet and AJ Styles a 2 sweet. So
yeah.
Close to being an official member of Bullet Club. Oh, and Jay White. I've given Jay White a 2 sweet.
So good. Congratulations, Korey.
Pretty close.
Tetsuya Naito, though, where does he go from here? Does he, does he get that fucking
the Masked Man, Dick Togo?
Dick Togo.
Who's
Kaientai's own Dick Togo?
Kaientai, what? What are you talking about? I don't
remember. He was in Kaientai in Michinoku Pro, not in WWF.
Oh, okay. So can you explain this to me?
Well, I can just read his Wikipedia article right here. He has performed Sato, Shigeki Sato has performed for numerous Japanese promotions as well as American promotions such as ECW, WWF, and Ring of Honor. While in Michinoku Pro, he's 50. He's 50 years old. Looked great. He wrestled for DDT. He's friends with Gato and Jado. He was in the main event of Evolve Wrestling's Evolve 24 show, defeating Chris Hero. Wow.
I just want to see Gato, Jado, and Dick Togo all fighting at like a barbecue, like over a piece of meat. Just like, that's my piece of meat. No, that's my piece of meat. No, that's my piece of meat.
He wrestles for DDT. He was their Iron Man heavyweight champion for 4 times, KOD openweight champion 3 times, and a tag 3 times.
Well, a lot of people are moving around companies now because
everything's closing down. It's a fire sale.
Exactly. You have Jun Akiyama going to DDT Pro. You know what I mean? So
it's crazy. That you would think that dude was for life over in All Japan, but
But no, he's got to make money, man. He needs to make a paycheck. He's on loan. Well, he's on loan from All Japan, but because I'm the resident All Japan pro wrestler.
There we go. Naito, where that dude is. He didn't even have his moment in the January 5th Tokyo Dome show. He got his ass beat by Kenta.
They did my boy dirty.
Would you really be down for another Naito, like a rise in Naito again, even though they already told that story. Like, think about that. Think about the bigger picture. Like, think about as a vast whole. No, as a whole for Tetsuya Naito, which is he couldn't even win the G1. He got beat by Jay White. All it took for him was to make that double title dash at the G1. I mean, at the Dome. He barely accomplished that, and then he beats Kenta, and then COVID happens, and now
titles.
He doesn't have the titles anymore.
I wonder what
is he the Kofi Kingston of New Japan Pro Wrestling?
What was the plan? Like, was this the plan all along?
It probably was. Honestly, it's just that no. It was probably just the way. Like I said before, we just weren't conditioned for it.
Why was a double title dash though planned to end in 6 months later? Why was a double champion only supposed to hold it for 6 months? That's what I don't get. Why was
he's still double champion.
No, they're still double champions. You're right. Absolutely. But why was the person to bring the titles together? Why was he the one to let it go 6 months later, making him look like what somebody else could have won it and made it look stronger? Jay White could have won those titles and held them for X amount of dates. Well, given to COVID, that would have sucked, but Okada could have won it and held both titles till 3 years from now. And
I think because they wanted, I can't even say they wanted Naito to have his moment because he got beaten up by Kenta at the end of that show, and they were just thinking like, oh, this is, we'll see. Naito will just keep this title, and then he'll have his moment, and then like he couldn't even do that.
I think
he couldn't even do that.
I think Jay White was supposed to win the New Japan Cup.
Dude, no.
Who else was going to win it?
I mean, you had Ibushi and Okada, and you're telling me you would choose Jay White? Like, come on, Korey.
I would.
Well, I'm glad you don't run New Japan.
Well, you know what? They put the titles on Evil. Anyways.
So what? Evil is way cooler than Jay White. I love Evil. Evil's great. Evil is great, dude.
I look at Jay White more as a main eventer.
Than
Evil. Yes.
That's, sometimes we could just be arguing in circles about this because, again, only one way to find out. Only one way to find out.
After the match, though, they're beating down on Naito. That's when Hiromu comes out, and he is distraught by his brother turning his back on LIJ. Basically, he challenged Evil to a match for the titles. He said if you're too scared to defend both the titles, just to defend one. And this might be a way you can get the double titles off of somebody, So
it's two things. It's a way to get double titles, to discontinue double titles, and a way for Hiromu Takahashi to get into the main event picture, which, you know what? I am all for.
Yeah, definitely. I think that I would see this being more for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, he can be a pretty dope Intercontinental champion.
I don't see him.
But then is he light heavyweight?
He is, but he would have to vacate the title.
Or he could be another double champion. He'll just be a double champion.
Yeah, they might be like, no, we don't have that one. There's a caveat to the light heavyweight. No, you can't. Sorry.
New Japan has too many belts.
You're actually over the weight limit with both belts, so you got to give that one belt up. Sorry.
And he just screams for about 20 minutes.
And yes, and then Hiromu
you'll see in our thumbnail. And he just says Iberu, and then he just yells. And then it's not even the yelling that I fucking loved. It's the fact that he just runs away afterwards. It's like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Yeah, well, that was New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion. We're new.
Very heel-heavy show. Like, all the heels going over, unless you count Shingo Takagi as a heel, which you totally can, but,
He's not. No, LIJ is a face faction, dude.
Oh, yeah, right now.
Totally. You know what? We didn't point this out. So night one of the New Japan Cup, Shingo Takagi, Hiromu Takahashi, and Tetsuya Naito, they win their 6-man tag match, and they lay all 4 belts out on the middle of the ring, and they're trying to get the perfect pose for the camera, and they just can't get it right at all. Like, Hiromu sits down, Naito gets down, and Shingo's just like, he sits down, but he sits in front of Naito. Naito's just like, move. And then everyone gets up, and they just all walk.
I wonder what they got going with Sonata after all this. He was nowhere to be seen. Honestly, I thought it was Sonata under that mask.
Oh, Yeah. Well,
I mean, I wouldn't say that's a great idea. I just thought that's what was going on.
I knew the entire time it was Dick Togo.
Yeah,
that's Dick Togo right there. That's my Togo. My
your to-go pick when you have to make a decision, you choose Dick Togo because he's your
my to-go pick when I need to pick a dick.
You always just fucking go for the easy jokes here on City Wrestling Radio. Just that's just how we are. Anyway, again, heel heavy show. Your first show back with a bunch of crowds. Let's just bum the fuck everybody out.
Well,
it's interesting. I am definitely interested. It's a very intriguing direction. I wouldn't say it's great or good. Some might say it's even bad, but I am definitely just interested.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see what happens in the near future. Bullet Club is definitely another faction again on the rise.
It's probably the faction. They got the title. They have the titles, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, LIJ still has the light heavyweight. They still have the 6-man, right? Don't they?
Not the one. Dude, Evil is still 6-man champion.
Oh, that's right.
LIJ.
Well,
that's got to be awkward.
Well, then he is Evil 3 belts, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get out of here, Michael. For all of us here at City Wrestling Radio, have a wonderful day.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Don't forget.
Though time is irrelevant right now.
Yeah. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe at CWR415 Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And me and I will see everybody on Thursday. Yes.
Yeah, probably. Most likely.
All right. Well, have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Later.